course, those bass are actively chasing bait fish just about 20-30 yards beyond my reach, of course. I can't quite reach them with this worm. So I'm going to head down a little bit down stream here on the north shore, northwest corner. And I'm going to try to fish the grass beds, and then there's some tree cover over there I'm going to try to hit and use my creature bait, and then try to cast a little bit farther out. There's some lily pads I can probably reach on the other side. So they'll be moving in a little bit closer to shore as the morning progresses, but right now they're actively feeding, but out there beyond the lily pad field about 80 yards out. Of course, I can't quite reach that. So, all right, I'm going to move down a little bit and see if we can have better luck down here in this corner. What do you know? Caught a culprit on a culprit. How's that, Stan? Nice little pounder and a half, maybe 2 pounds. Nice little nibbler. Got him on that grape culprit worm. Same worm you showed me about almost 40 years ago. Still works. All right, going old school is certainly working out Thanksgiving morning here. So they're finally on the bite. So I'm going to keep trying the grass shoreline here and just keep throwing that worm in and out of that grass and let it sit a little bit. And that was the technique. I just let it sit there for about a minute or so before I start reeling it in. So he snapped it out there and just picked it up and took off with it. So, all right, I'm going to keep on trucking with the worm. Another look-see at it. Nice worm bass. All right, bite slowed down in that area there. I'm going to move down a little bit to my left here on the northwest corner. I'm going to fish some more grass pockets and drop this little worm in there. And that's a good thing about finesse fishing, especially in the wintertime. If they're not really actively feeding or aggressively chasing bait, you just want to slow it down. This is the perfect bait for that. I just dropped it out there with a bullet weight and just let it sit in the grass bed on the bottom near the grass bed, and the bass picked it up. And it was just a subtle hit. He didn't take off with it, swim off with it aggressively or anything, so I think he was just by himself there and didn't feel any competition. So he just grabbed the bait and just kind of hung out there on the edge of the grass line, so I just felt a slight tug on the line. And as I reeled it up, then the line started going out. Then I knew I had a bass on there, so that's when I set the hook. So low and slow is the recipe for fall winter fishing, especially after a cool front. And like I said, it was in the mid-50s this morning when I got here, so it's starting to warm up into the 60s. But that's what you'd want to do, and use a small bait like this. And this is the lake that I hit about 3 years ago when I first came out. I caught almost an 8-pound bass with this type of worm on the same on the northeast corner. So it does work. I mean, especially when they're you know, starting to pre-spawn and starting to feed. So if you want to hit them with bait, if they're a little bit sluggish because of cool weather, then this is the perfect bait. You know, just low and slow, and just drag and pop it with your rod a little bit, and just let it pop on the bottom. So they don't have to expend much energy to pick this up, obviously. So so anyway, that's what we're going to keep trying over here, and just takes a little bit more patience. It's not as exciting as, you know, cranking a swim bait through or popping a frog and getting that big top water strike. But when you know, again, if the temperature warrants it and the bite is a little bit slow, then there's no better bait than using a slow crawling either creature bait or plastic worm like this. So this is like a 7-inch Culprit Worm, Ribbon Tail, the original. All right, so I'm going to move down a little bit and see if I can pick up some more and just kind of target those pockets and see what else is lurking out there. All right, it's time to fish some timber.